Okay, I wanted to go over a couple things with this video. One is how to fill out the homework problems that look like a chart like this, and then also to show you how to make a histogram. Okay, so this is question 17. It might not be your question 17, but it's similar to other questions where they ask for the class and the frequency and that type of thing. So first of all, I want to show you, this is the completed problem, and I wanted to show you that because I think it's better that you get all of the numbers and then put them into the program. Okay, so for example, this is what it's going to look like, and they're going to ask you to go across here, and maybe that's a good way to learn to do it, but I think it's better just to get all of the numbers, and then enter them in to your into the website there. Okay, so let's get started. First of all, to load the data, as you know, click on the little rectangle and put it in StatCrunch. What we're going to do now is get these lower limits 0, 6, 12, 18, 24, and then 5, 11, 17, 29. So how are we going to do that? The first thing is, after I have the data in here, I'm going to sort table ascending, all right? So that puts the min and the max down here, right? And then the min value, the first number here is that 0 is going to be, it's going to be the minimum value in your data set, all right? So that's what you're going to put there. Now, how do I get 6? How am I going to get these numbers here? Well, I have to find the class width, all right? So the class width, all right, let's see if I put it up here, class width. That's going to be the max minus the min divided by the number of classes. All right, so in this case, the max, let's go back to our data. The max is 29 down here to 0. I didn't mean to make that pink. Okay, 29 to 0. All right, and how many classes? It says use 5 classes right here. Okay, so let's do 29 minus 0 divided by 5. All right, what does that come out to? $29 divided by 5 is equal to 5.8. All right, so can you see that? 5.8. All right, so whatever you get for this class value here, you go up to the next highest integer. So this is going to go up to a 6, all right? Even if I had 5.1 there, I would go up to a 6. So it's not really rounding, but it's going to the ceiling, the next highest number, highest integer, all right? So I know my class width is 6. So my lowest number was 0, and I'm going to add 6 to that because I know that's my class width. And then I'm going to add 6 to that, 12, 18, 24, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's my first row, or first column here. Now, what's this number going to be? Well, it's going to be 1 less than this one. So this is a 6. Okay, it's going to be 1 less than 6, so that's 5. And then I'm going to add 6 all the way down here. So 5 plus 6 is 11, all right? 17, 23, and 29. All right, so now I've got that first column finished. Now let's go to the midpoint here. How am I going to get the midpoint? Well, the midpoint is just basically the average of these two numbers. So 0 plus 5, 0 plus 5 divided by 2, right? That's going to be 2.5. And then the rest of these, I mean, I could do that here. 6 plus 11 is 17 divided by 2. All right, so that's going to be 8.5. But I could also just add my class width to this, and that will give me 8.5, 14.5, 20.5, and 26.5. All right, so that kind of assumes that you get this first one right, because if you miss that and you add 6 to it, you're going to miss all of them. But anyway, That's one way to do it. All right, so now we're going to get the frequency and the relative frequency. And those I'm going to get by building a histogram, and I want to show you kind of review on how you do that with StatCrunch here. So I've got my data in here. I'm going to go graph, histogram. All right, bring my variable over. All right, so my data was in variable 1 here. And I want to get the frequency. I'm going to start at the lowest number, which was a 0. All right, the 0 right here, that's my lowest number. And as I computed, my class width was 6. All right, and I'm going to click this value above the bar. All right, so I compute that. Again, I've got this pink. I didn't mean to do that. All right, so my frequencies in the first class is 5, 4, 4, 3, 4. So I'm just going to come over here. 5, 4, 4, 3, 4. All right. And then my relative frequency, remember relative frequency is the percent of data in each class. So how much, for example, in this class here, there's 3 data points. What's the percentage of that? And the way you do that is you come up here and edit, and instead of frequency, you plot relative frequency. All right, so now I have 0.25. Let's put this over here. So this is going to be 0.25, 0.2, 0.2, 0.15, and 0.2. All right, and now this last column here is the cumulative frequency, and that's going to just be the frequency of each class plus all the classes before that. So the first one is just going to carry over. That's going to be 5. But this next class will be 4 plus 5, or 9. All right, and this next class is going to be 5 plus 4 plus 4, or 13. Or I could just say 4 plus 9 is 13. And 3 plus 13 is 16. And then 4 plus 16 is 20. Now, remember, if I add all these up, I'm adding up all the counts of all the data. This will come out to be the number of data points. This will come out to be the sample size. And the relative frequency, well, if I add up all the data, that's going to be 100% or 1.0. Okay, in this case, let's see, how many data points are there? There's 20 data points of this. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the sum. That is the sample size, right? Because I've added all those up. This is the sample size, 20, not this. Okay, so let's now go back and just look at this problem here. Let's see if I can get on my, there we go. So this chart that I created there with you, these are the numbers that I generated. And so what you would do is you would just put this first row into your answer, and then you would fit all the other data points in there too. Right? If you have an error, then maybe you typed one in wrong and come over and check. But I wanted to show you an easy way to get this. And I think the easiest thing is to build this whole chart on its own. And then, this is how you get a histogram. This is a histogram, okay? Usually it has the frequency and not the relative frequency, which will have the same shape. But one last thing is sometimes you'll put in your numbers and you won't see the counts on the top, and that's kind of scary. And it can be because you don't have this, you haven't given it enough space. Now I can't get rid of those numbers, but sometimes if you take the corner and just pull it, the numbers on the values above the bar will appear. So anyway, I just wanted to go through that with you, and I hope that was clear.